You know, you should stop repeating this sentence unless you're ready to defend it with facts. Jews, Christians, and Muslims lived in peaceful harmony under Islam for 500 years before the Crusades. Because it's not just wrong, it's one of the most successful historical lies ever sold. And it's still being used today to silence Jews, Christians, and anyone who challenges Islamist ideology. Shalom, and welcome to the Middle East in less than 5 minutes. I'm Igal, your host, and today's episode is longer than usual because this myth needs to die properly. Where the myth come from? You've heard it before. From 638 CE, when Muslim armies conquered Jerusalem, until 1099, when the Crusaders arrived, we are told that there was a golden age of tolerance. No persecution, no violence, no oppression, just coexistence. Until Jews and Christians ruined it. This story is used constantly today to imply that Islam was tolerant, that Jews and Christians were protected, that violence only began when the West intervened, and therefore modern Jewish self-defense is a real crime. It sounds comforting. It's also historically dishonest. So, what did coexistence actually mean? Let's start with Jerusalem. 638 CE. Caliph Umar conquers the city. Yes, Jews are allowed back after Christians banned them, but under a strict condition: dhimmi status. Dhimmi did not mean equal. It meant subjugated. Jews and Christians were classified as second-class subjects, politically powerless, religiously restricted, permanently humiliated. Under Islamic law, they paid jizya, a head tax for being non-Muslim. They could not bear arms. They could not testify against Muslims. They could not build new synagogues or churches. Crosses and bells were banned. Churches could be seized or converted into mosques. They had to dress differently, ride donkeys, not horses, step aside in public. This wasn't tolerance, it was submission. The Pact of Umar spells it out clearly, and it wasn't symbolic, it was enforced. Violence wasn't the exception, it was a pattern. And when submission wasn't enough, there was violence against Jews and Christians alike. Here are a few examples, not cherry-picked, just documented. 966 CE, Granada, 5,000 Jews massacred. 1033, Fez, 6,000 Jews killed in a single day, women enslaved. 1066, Granada, Jewish community wiped out completely. 1013, Baghdad, Jews persecuted under Caliph al-Qadir. 1165, Yemen, forced conversion of Jews. 1148, Almohad invasion of Spain. Jews and Christians told convert or die. Christians fared no better. Churches destroyed or converted. Entire Christian populations vanished from North Africa. Once Christian lands like Egypt, Syria, and Lebanon became Muslim majority through pressure, law, and violence. If this is peace, it's the kind that exists when one group holds a sword. White slavery, the part everyone lives out. Here's another inconvenient fact. Between the 7th and 19th century, millions of Europeans were enslaved by Muslim empires. White slavery wasn't rare, it was institutional. Barbary pirates raided Europe for centuries. Italy, Spain, France, Ireland, England, all hit. Men enslaved, women taken as concubines, children converted. Estimates range from 1 to 1.25 million Europeans enslaved in North Africa alone. This didn't stop until European natives forcibly ended it in 1800s. Funny how that never makes it into the peaceful coexistence story. Jihad, not an inner struggle. Now let's address the biggest lie of all. You've been told jihad just means personal struggle. That's modern Western spin. In classical Islamic law, jihad is armed struggle to expand Islamic rule. Not symbolic, not internal, not optional. The world is divided into Dar al-Islam, land under Muslim rule, and Dar al-Harb, land of war. The goal is to expand Dar al-Islam. That's why Arabia conquered the Middle East, North Africa, Spain, Persia, parts of Europe. This wasn't defensive, it was imperial expansion justified as holy war. Jews and Christians were tolerated only if they accepted subjugation. Refusal meant conversion, exile, or death. This isn't Islamophobia, it's Islamic jurisprudence. Why this myth exists today? So, why are we still told this fairy tale? Because it serves a purpose. It allows Islamists to appear historically tolerant, Jews to be blamed for conflict, Christians to forget their own history, the West to excuse its own fear. It reframes submission as harmony, silence as peace, survival as oppression. And after October 7, it's being used again to silence Jewish suffering, to excuse Islamists' violence, to label resistance as Islamophobia. Same script, different century. The truth: Jews didn't thrive under Islam. Christians didn't thrive under Islam. They endured. They survived through submission, exile, and humiliation until they could protect themselves again. Israel isn't colonialism. It's self-defense after 1300 years of vulnerability. The idea of 500 years of peaceful coexistence is not history, it's propaganda. It's designed to erase Jewish and Christian suffering, to sanctify Islamic conquest, and to shame modern self-defense. History wasn't harmonious, it was hierarchical. And now that Jews refuse to kneel, the lie has to be repeated louder than ever. Thanks for listening to Middle East in less than 5 minutes. I'm Igal, your host. Know your history, because lies only survive when memory dies. Until next time, Shalom.